Well. It's episode 50, we think, on Q-Turls, the podcast. We've made it 50 episodes. And if you've listened to any of the 50, we appreciate it greatly. We hope you've learned something along the way and laughed a few times, mainly at Jordan, at Chefry. That's Chef Jordan Jackson. I'm JD, and let's get cracking here. Episode 50. I don't even know if it's worth a milestone, but we're going to drink a six-pack here of waters. We got a lot of water today. We're going to do something we've never done on the podcast. I get to call the shots. We're not going to have any script to go by as far as questions. Mm-hmm. Not script. We have nothing to squash. We have no bullet points, notes. These are for a past episode. And we're just going to shoot off the horse. It's a rodeo term. You run off the horse to go get the rope, tie the steer. When Jordan was just, we were meeting with a health inspector here recently, about an hour ago. Jordan picked up an oak tree.
Pollen?
Yeah. And I looked at you and I said, if you put that to your nose or you put it on your hands and proceed to touch your face, we will not be able to podcast today, because I sure wouldn't. Whew.
Hey, look at this. Both nostrils.
Yeah, clean to go. So today we don't have really a topic. We're in a clean hat. So if you guys are going, why is he always wearing a clean hat? Well, ooh, it's sweaty.
So is mine.
I've got one here for TV. If you're listening to the podcast on all the channels that you can listen to the podcast, the outlets, we thank you for tuning in all across the globe. I saw the analytics the other day. We were all over, from Eastern Europe, Western Europe, Middle East, down through Australia, New Zealand.
Really?
There's red dots where you can see people who are watching and tuning in. I guess it translates the language. I don't know. You can also watch it on YouTube on the Q-Turls channel, where you can also catch Chasing Fire. It's a full life drama.
It's a drama. Made by the same people who did Law and Order.
It feels like it sometimes. We come into the podcast room to escape from the cameras. Is that an oxymoron?
I know. We come in here and then there's more cameras.
They've been in here with the cameras. Preston came in here once.
Yeah.
So the way that this Chasing Fire goes is, it truly is, I usually get to work at 6. That's in the morning. I don't work the night shift. And thank God they don't get in at 6. It's my time for me to have the real confusion of what's going on. And there's usually, today we've got a pipe cutter that's out, blew a motor, having an overnight one. What else? A saw broke.
I don't know. I'm never here at that time, so you're just talking to yourself.
Jordan works banker hours. But, usually when they show up about your time, then here come the cameras, and we got to put microphones and tape them on our chest and all that. It's I complain about it, but it's a really good, once we get the campus really moving with the episodes in the restaurant, I think if I'm a viewer, and this is how I framed it, I'm going to sit there and watch it and go, this is interesting. Especially when you start doing the restaurant, the classes.
Yeah.
Sometimes funny.
Right.
But this is episode 50. We got to make it action-packed.
50. What is 50 themed? Over the Hill?
Is that silver?
Are we over the? Is this the Over the Hill episode?
I don't know. I think we can make it to 500 episodes.
Or half of a.
Jordan is not a permanent fixture here. We might get him to stay in Georgia. He might become
the mold started growing on the north side of me.
Well,
that's a tree joke.
It's like my rodeo joke.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Flying off the horse.
Yeah.
I think, Jordan, when you're gone, the podcast may come to an end. If you ever leave.
We have an epic kill us both off. We could Thelma and Louise off a cliff. into
we
the
could
wood
do the
chipper.
podcast with guests. I just want to bring extreme value to the podcast. Learning. I like the comments and the feedback. Thank you very much for listening and watching. That we're doing some good. We're not just fluffing. But this episode, I got a feeling that this might be our most fluffy episode. Or we can dive into some topics. There's some stuff. We could talk about the things that I think are brought up a lot, questions. I think speaking to some people over the last 2 weeks, I've had a comment. I got a direct message on the Q-Torals channel the other day. It's in my mind. We could talk about it. People that are new into cooking with an offset are curious on how bark is set. What is the ingredient that causes bark to form? It has a lot to do with the protein you're cooking. Patience, pepper. Now, have you ever smoked anything without pepper? You still get bark. You get a different kind of bark. But you get a crust.
It's anemic.
You get a crust with pepper.
Mm-hmm.
What else could we talk about, Jordan? We're going full. We're going full. What do you call it? Raw
Rogue.
Paul.
Yeah, raw Paul. I had a thought over the weekend.
You were fishing all weekend. I'm sure
I
you had a bunch.
I was like, I would love to have a Bajo Mini when I was trout fishing and catch a trout, have it lit, and then just slap a trout on there. But guess what? You can't cook something that you can't catch.
Yeah,
I can't catch a trout to save my life.
and he sent me pictures of them. I mean, there was a couple that I saw that were 15 inches or bigger.
Yeah, it's driving me bonkers that I can't catch any.
So the difference between me and Jordan is I battle with anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I've
I do too, but I just take pills for it.
I've had it my whole life. I guess my kids, I get anxious, and what fixes the anxiety for me is working. So the more that I work, the less I'm anxious. But Preston, throw the picture up of Jordan that he sent to me there. There's the fish, 15 inches, probably a little bigger. Jordan couldn't catch that.
No,
He tried to hook him.
I was trying to hook them.
You
I
should have just netted it.
I should have just went bow fishing. I don't even know if you can legally bow fish trout. But I would have. I was so not angry. Just I'm past the point of just being hysterical. I walked about a mile in the creek in Helen in my boots. Walked up creek. Tried every lure you can possibly imagine. I tried to learn how to fly fish on my own. I have flies. I did everything. I had this whole day to myself. Didn't even have a bite. So I was like, I'll just go the next day. I'll catch one for sure.
So let's back it up a little bit.
My lure
A couple weeks ago, me,
did touch a trout.
the
though.
middle son, and Jordan went fishing up in. So I really enjoy. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. I really enjoy it. There's just been very few times in my professional career where I can take off a Saturday and go fish and not feel like I have this pressure. I don't like customers to wait 140 days for a smoker, even though we put out a bazillion of them a week in terms of what we do. But I just feel like there's always something that I have to be doing, and I hate that about me. I hate it. I literally am angry at myself Saturday. But we went fishing 2 Saturdays ago. You caught a fish.
I caught one, and
Houston caught a fish.
he caught two. He caught
caught
one
two,
that was as big as this Sharpie.
Then he caught a pretty good size one,
He did.
about a pounder. And I was glad because I like to go take him fishing and catch. You know, he catch some fish and then it's rewarding. It's like I summons the fish to his bait. But after we got done fishing, I felt miserable. I felt like, oh my gosh, there's so much I should have been doing. But it's like barbecue. Barbecue does not make me feel that way.
Right.
And that is why I'm gravitated to it, because I'm doing so much work cooking. And I don't like pellet smokers. I would never own one.
Right.
If somebody gave me the best pellet smoker on the market, there's 2 things that I would not cook. There's 2 reasons I wouldn't want to cook. One is the product's not the same. I don't come after me. throw darts at me. It's not the same product. And two, I enjoy the amount of work that it takes to cook barbecue. It's fulfilling.
I can literally fish as much daylight as there is. I could sit out there by myself and fish all day.
Well, you're in a beautiful body of water, a creek.
Dude,
the mountains are beautiful.
Not even catching fish and just the ASMR of being up in there with no cell reception is the most amazing
You lose
thing.
cell
Nobody
when you
can
get
a
on that
hold of you.
road.
It's awesome.
The road where we went the first time or second time, you're not gonna see a bar on your phone.
I climbed down this big old mountain about 100 feet down in this trail that probably is 15 years old and it's been growing over. I had to like crawl underneath a tree in a creek, and I got to this like beautiful area, and I was like, man, there's gonna be fish galore out here. Nothing.
They stock it every Thursday. But there's also natives in there. But you see all the people in there trout fishing. There's a lot of people that, and you just got, my dad always used to say you got to find what's on the water, and then go match it. And I use a little Zebco 33. I used to have a fly rod. I still do somewhere, and I'll just whip it out, let it float down. When they're biting, they're biting. I've been in there when every cast is you're catching a fish, and that's the polar opposite of not catching a fish.
I don't like catching too many.
You're right.
It's boring. Me and the girls went one time to a little stock pond before I moved here, and we were putting corn. That's why I won't fish with corn. I'm telling you why. We went to this place, and they give you a cup of frozen corn. Dude, I swear, the moment it hit the water, you were pulling up a brim, and I'm like, I got tired of pulling them off the reel. For me and the girl.
I've caught them with a hook.
And it's boring.
They stock. So there's this tournament that comes into this area every year, trout fishing tournament. I don't know if you gals and guys trout fish out there. If you're near cold water streams, we had 6 waters when we started, I think. You got dehydrated sitting out there at the health inspector meeting?
All I've done today is talk. I've been on the phone. I've been talking to the health inspector. I've talked to you. I'm talking to these good people. There's some dryness going on.
What was I saying? So
I've
caught
about the
fish.
tournament.
Oh, the tournament. Yeah. Helen has a tournament where they put these, there's 5-7 pound fish in there. And
They're really?
Yeah, they drop them in there, and everybody stands within, there's 100 people out there standing within 200 feet, and they're all jammed in there. They're casting as far as from here to the end of this table.
That don't even sound fun.
You're all over people. And I don't think that's a good way to have the tournament. I think they should spread it out over a mile or so. But people come in there after the tournament, the day after the tournament, and they catch all the big fish that nobody caught.
So I grew up on a lake every year of my life for 21 years, and I fished like crazy. I was obsessed with fishing as a kid. And if I had a seinen net, and me and my brother would pull up fish. I would turtle hunt, anything to do with that water. I was in it. Then when I got older, I went fishing when I was playing music at Caddo and got a ticket for not having a fishing license. I haven't fished since. And as soon as I moved here, Jamie started talking about trout. I've been wanting to trout fish forever, and we finally did.
Jamie's
Now
the grader
again.
that works here on the property when we need to grade. We're building restaurants, so
He's our boy.
But yeah, I've grown up trout fishing as a little small kid. I grew up in the mountains. And
Absolutely love
East
it,
Tennessee.
man.
You can go in there, and on Saturday, and you can wear them out. You can go in there and not catch any. I've caught a stringer full of them, and I've cooked them. I love trout. I like smoking trout.
Mm-hmm.
I love smoking trout. We got a customer that does nothing but smoke trout on his 1,000 gallon.
My best friend in the world and I were talking a couple days ago, and he said, I still tell people to this day, my favorite day of my life is that day that you and I think one of our other buddies, got my boat that sank out of the water with a come-along and drained it, got it back up, and we paddled out to this honeycomb of brim bed.
You weren't afraid it was going to sink again?
No, what happened, the front of it, it was one of those boats that just floated. It didn't have a lift. The nose of it got when the water lifted up, it lifted it up and like got water in it, and it did it all the time. I had a come along that I kept above it just to hoist it out of the water, and it was a Hustler, it was a P-row or something, and we paddled it over there to this honeycomb, and we caught probably 50 brim, and I got one of my buddy's dads like cleaned them up for us. It was like 8th or 9th grade, and then took them to my house, and my brother deep fried them for us, and he's like, dude, that's one of the best days of my life of actually catching food and then eating it. He's like, it's the first time it ever happened.
Yeah, I like grilling trout.
It's fun.
I like grilling them over coals. I've occasionally done it on a skillet, cast iron skillet, a little fresh lemon juice.
Did y'all eat much fried fish growing up? Was it a thing in Tennessee? Big deal in
We're in catfish.
South.
But I at one point in my life, I lived on a lake. I had 1,000 feet of lake frontage, and I had a boat years ago in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I just got bored. I sold the boat, got rid of. I just didn't like it more than my day job. And then I thought I had something wrong with me because I was like, man. Now on the weekends, if I had a night, I'd go down there at night and just see if I couldn't catch something. Nick was little. We'd go out there and just off the bank, see if we couldn't catch a bluegill or something because family time.
Me and my middle brother used to drink and brim fish off the pier at night. We had these feeders. They were just PVC. They'd float and you just fill them full of cat food. And we'd put a spotlight out and all the bait fish would come up and then the gars and stuff and then the turtles and everything. And we'd sit out there and fish and drink and just those were the days.
Catch everything
man.
that you didn't want to catch?
Catch turtles. That's the worst. But like it's in my blood. Like, dude, when we finally got to go trout fishing the other day, I just awoke like 20 years of
It's fun.
Missing time.
It's
And
fun. I mean, I enjoy it when my brain is clean.
Mm-hmm. But I'm segueing into this. I can't wait to start actually catching these things. And I've never caught a wild trout and cooked it. And I want to do it on a Bajo Mini.
Well, I got some good news and some bad news. You want the bad
They
first?
probably don't taste very good.
The natives that I've caught don't taste as good as the
The farm raised ones? Mm-hmm. I think farm raised fish.
well, they're farm raised and they're dumped in as stockers, and then you catch those. There's a good flavor. They have more oil to their trout is really good.
I love trout.
If you fillet trout and you got a good recipe on how to
Dredge
grill
it
them
and fry it, man.
roasted potatoes and trout and some asparagus, you are eating like a king.
I would love I think the Bajo Mini and a trout would just be just the most amazing little meal.
Thanks for letting me introduce you to the highly coveted Workhorse Pits Offset Smoker. It's a premium offset smoker that's been shipped across the globe since 2019. We build 3 different models, the 1957, the 1969, and our largest, the 1975. All 3 come on casters or a wagon package. You can also purchase the 1975 on a trailer. Find all of these smokers at workhorsepits.com. It's great barbecue we're after. Well, the fish we've caught have been... one day back in June, 2 or 3 years ago, we went on a Saturday, and it was pretty hot. We got in that same body of water you're in.
Right.
Me and Jamie and Houston were in there fishing, and Houston goes, "Dad, is that a copperhead?" I looked down. I'm wearing Crocs.
Mm-hmm.
There's a copperhead with a fish head in its mouth going down the... And then I said, "Yes, it is." So I watched it go by, and Jamie goes, "Well, there's 4 or 5 more." And we looked, and I got them on my phone here.
You sent me that video.
There's copperheads all over that. They're coming out of the rocks.
Yeah.
Making it a little spooky, but
So-
watch where you're stepping over there.
For the people who don't know, like the way the Chattahoochee's out there, it's tiered. It goes up. You'll go up. There's a flat, and then some rocks, and it just keeps like going up and up and up the mountain. And I start down low, and I work my way up high because you get behind the trout so they can't see you. And I was casting at this waterfall and letting my bait go down in this little trough. And then I cast it once, and this snake just goes bloop down that little thing, and he's just floating, living his best life, and he just floated on by me.
Copperhead?
It was either that or is a really clean water snake. Have you seen them when they're really clean and they look like copperheads?
Yeah, copperheads are they're identifiable. You can when you see the Hershey Kiss,
I couldn't.
and they're
tell.
always fatter. Water snakes
This
can be
was
a
a
little
smaller
thinner.
one. It was 18-inch long snake. It wasn't very big. It was a
But
juvenile.
Chattahoochee, there's a famous. If you listen to country music in the '90s, Alan Jackson had a song called "Way Down Yonder" on the Chattahoochee, and he's from where my first restaurant was at. My wife's from the same hometown. That's 2.5 hours south, where we were fishing, and where we've actually camped. My family is at the very mouth of the Chattahoochee. These two streams come in, and they're I mean, both of them are probably 3 feet wide, and they marry in at the very top of. Well, I want to give out my. Just come visit.
Yeah.
Come to the campus. We'll have a barbecue class and we'll go fishing.
I saw the.
I'll send you a Jordan. We'll go to the mouth right there at the mouth of the Chattahoochee. It's clean, cold.
So going up that, when the pavement turns to gravel and you're going, and it's like, oh, it's going to take me 10 years to get anywhere.
It's 10 miles up that road.
It's
Or
at
5.
11 miles where I pulled off and went down that cliff. It was 11 miles from
Did you get
there,
up
and
to- There's 4 camping spots at the very top up there, and
I didn't go
you
that
camp,
far.
and you have to tent camp. You can't get a camper up there, and you're literally you put your tent, and you could cast from your tent.
This was I got out of the truck on this little flat, and it was a big area where you could park, and there wasn't any car but like one other car there. And I could hear it. I was like, I hear that river down there. It can't be that far. You know me. Oh, I'm just listening. It took me a long time to get down there, and then I fished forever, and I was coming back up the mountain. I was climbing, and I slipped and said some cuss words. It kind of rolled down a little bit, had mud all over me. I got up to the top. My head comes up on that mountain, and there's just an old guy sitting there on his tailgate. Hey. I was like, hi. You doing all right? And he goes, yeah. I said, y'all catch anything? 2. There ain't none down there. I said, okay. You look like you're not all right. You want a drink? I got something in the cooler. He could tell I was flustered. I think he heard me cussing down there right below.
It's rough terrain. I love it.
I love meeting the people out there. They're so nice.
Mountain people are great people.
Right.
I grew up in the mountains, and my mom sent me to a school. So she said, "You're going to this school for one reason." I said, "Why?" She goes, "Because I don't want you to end up being like the mountain people." I was like, "Well, that's not a bad thing, but I get it.
Yeah.
It's a culture up there. Those people are taking a stringer fish home cooking.
Mm-hmm.
They don't the sport."
Not for sport for them.
No, but it's also they know where the fish are if they're biting. But trout are not to segue into make this content about barbecue, but I really love smoking trout. I've done it a bunch.
I need to.
It's really good. I use pecan. It's gentle.
We should do that. We should do a video of smoking.
I think we tried to at the Bajo.
Y'all can't ever catch the dang things.
No. Well, when you catch them, though, you're catching them. If you catch one in the first 5 minutes, I have a rule. Go find the stringer. We're going to catch a bunch.
I did look up.
Get your limits.
The regulation is 8, no size. You can catch whatever size you want, up to 8 per person.
If they're not a pound, I'll put them back. Because you're not going to get much meat out of it.
Dude, the other day when that probably big 17-inch kind of popped at my
It's already grown 2 inches.
no, this was a different one, not the one I showed you the picture of, but it was chasing that rooster tail, and I was sitting there. I was like, I don't have a cooler. If I catch that fish, I'm holding it in this water until JD brings me a cooler, or I'm throwing it in the back of the truck and I'm hauling butt home. And we're fixing to grill this thing.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah, you could probably get enough fish meat out of that. But I've caught in Tennessee. I've caught my limit a bunch, and
On big ones.
Yep. No, usually about pound and a half. Those are. But I've got a
That's a big
spot.
trout.
I've got a spot I used to fish. I used to catch natives because I could get to where nobody ever fished. It was near where I grew up, and I would catch those things and cook them, and I was like, man, they're just they don't have the. My dad always said the natives taste better than the.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he liked to catch the stockfish, but the stockfish are fed something that gives them some good. They oil out better. They confit when you're cooking them.
Yeah.
Need some coffee.
No, I don't.
But I mean, yeah, well, that's the benefit of being up here, for having the campus and having people come to the restaurant and come do tours and come take classes. And we're going to do experiences. I've got some experiences lined up as soon as we get the construction part in a spot where we can start doing experiences, set up some tents, do some really cool stuff here that's unique. I think part of it needs to be when you're here, you've got to go in the mountains. You got to go. I mean, we're in the gateway of the mountains. We're in the foothills. We're not on a mountain. You drive 1 mile and you start heading up the mountain.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're kind of.
You're in the mountains. We're on a mountain right here, but I'm talking, you got them right here beside you where you leave out of this road and you.
That's the closest one, right across from us. I can see it right out of the
Have you ever
living
been
room.
to the top of that one?
Mm-mm.
It's a beautiful view. You go up to the top of that one and just park and look at this campus.
Mm-hmm.
It is beautiful.
I don't even know how to get there.
Like you're going towards Walmart and then take a right and you just go back there where the car wash is and you just go up the mountain.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. I'm going to have to go check that out.
There's some home lots for sale up there if you want to call this your home. I mean, you'd be looking at the campus and you'd know there goes JD on the mower. I mean, you could shoot a flare off and.
Right. Well, I went through a phase where I was taking a picture every day when the foliage started happening, and was trying to take a picture every day from the living room of that mountain because that's a beautiful indicator of what's going on. Foliage.
There you go.
Foliage.
Your Appalachian granny. Yeah, the interesting part about this is it's almost very identical where I grew up in East Tennessee, except the mountains are taller. We have mountains that are in the 6,200 foot range.
We're
That's
only
pretty
at
tall.
15 to
Mile
3,000 here.
But if you go, 4,000 is the tallest we've got here. But then you're right here on the North Carolina border. So as soon as you cross into North Carolina, the first 3 mountains you come to are all 4,000 or 5,000 feet. Now you get up into those streams.
Colder.
Ooh. I've taken my kids, kids know everything. Dad, it's the same. I took them up there and put them on the Crocs and said, go stand in that creek. They couldn't stand. It's 50 degrees.
It's only 62 right now in the Chattahoochee where we're fishing.
That water?
Mm-hmm. I looked it up on the Georgia. They give you like a daily.
That's warm.
It is warm.
Yeah,
it was a lot warmer than I thought it was going to be.
You go stand in Betty's Creek and it's 45 or 50.
Tell you that
you can't stand in there for 30 seconds with Crocs on.
When you fall as much as I do, it feels colder.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing is that the warm water. I don't like the creeks that are. I mean, it's fast flowing, but it's
right.
It opens up, it warms up.
Right.
I'm a big fan of the creek fishing. I do love it. I just am not a big fan of spending 4 or 5 hours on a day that I got a lot to do,
right?
And we're not catching them. If you're catching them,
right.
I can overlook and push it off to Sunday or something.
To me, it's like the barbecue. It makes me feel at home. Like I hadn't even tied a lure on in forever, and I literally just grabbed it and I tied it perfect. And I was like, that's just a muscle memory. I didn't even think about what I was doing. I was like, wow, I'm back home. I'm where I need to be.
You slipped a few times on the
I slipped even
the river fishing
by
and lake
myself.
fishing's.
Yeah.
Yeah. My kids were talking Saturday. They were helping me out.
I'm a ding dong.
We were doing some campus work, we were cleaning up some places to put hay. And one of my kids said, wonder how many times Jordan has fallen today.
Did they really?
You know who?
Yeah.
The youngest.
Old Gucci.
I said, probably a dozen.
I did. I fell in the water every time I fished. I didn't yesterday because I didn't really go out. Because underneath that bridge, you really don't need to get out there. And everything's from the... But
that's a secret spot.
That's my spot.
There's a private trout club that they have a wire going across the river, and they got to do not come across this. They have the same fish that we have on the other side of that wire.
I was trying to catch one. I was flicking underneath it, hoping I would catch one.
You and
just to be
Jamie
like,
do that. You and Jamie have this mentality that there's fish over there that'll bite that won't bite here. But I've stood on this one little rock right there, and I've looked down in there. I've seen monsters. There's some good holes in here, but it's good, and that's part of the puzzle of figuring out what you enjoy doing. Like barbecue to me is so therapeutic because of the work flow of splits, and I like splitting wood. I'll shave down bark in the first 2 hours of my cook for the next cook. And
see, I get giddy like that about fishing and not. I guess the barbecue. I've never fished for a living, so
well, backyard barbecue and commercial barbecue are night and day different.
right.
You know, if you enjoy, some people like to go and barbecue, in the backyard because they can have a drink or 2 or 3 or 10. I just think that's. I don't enjoy that part of it. I don't drink, so I wouldn't.
So when I cook in the backyard, like the times I have, and I'm not talking about here, I've done it. My old roommate got a Traeger and he asked me to teach him how. It's like,
Push a button.
to me, it's like, this is like going to work on my day off. For me, because I've only ever been in a restaurant, it's like I am literally doing the thing I have to do at work every day.
The
And
the enjoyment level in the backyard is where it's at.
I'm trying to get there. I know it is amazing to do, but in my mindset, I'm like,
You cook
I'm
in the
out.
backyard with the commercial, like you're on top of it.
I am
I'm playing around with wood, splitting wood, getting my wood pile sorted out, sitting
Can't-
out there looking at the pit, looking at the coals, enjoying myself. But I'm keeping a steady pace of work going on.
See, I'm like that when I cook barbecue in the backyard. I'm like you are when you were fishing and being anxious. I'm like, I got to be doing all these things because I'm cooking barbecue.
But when you're in the restaurant, you're usually multitasking. You're in prep land.
I need to be doing
You're
something.
preparing for the next day. You're trimming. You're doing all. The smaller the operation, the more you're doing. So
Right.
the backyard, you're usually a one and done. I mean, sometimes I'll cook back to back.
For me, though, I'm like, I got to be doing something. I'm like, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. And I can't relax when I'm cooking backyard barbecue like I'm supposed to. Put me out in that stream, I don't care about nothing. I don't care about a single thing.
I am the exact opposite. I really enjoy the backyard. And usually, like when we're making content about the backyard pit, it's a different feel. I don't feel.
It's not as enjoyable.
No.
It's not. It's work. Because
I like it when nobody's around. I like to be alone. I love my kids to death, but sometimes I like it when they got a plan to go somewhere and they're gone for a couple of days or something.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
I'm like, this is what I'm going to do.
See, I like to grill like that. I used to grill a lot. Me and my brother, friends or whatever, we would have little get-togethers and do that. It was fun, like everybody chipping in and like partying and cooking. I've never experienced that with barbecue.
Yeah, I used to dip snuff for 30-some years. Bad habit. Don't do it. I quit, but I really had this moment that I considered to be the apex, and that was finish one coffee, light a fire, put a dip of snuff in, put some Copenhagen between my cheek and gum, and I would sit down on that stool and I would go, this
right here?
if I could get paid to be in this moment right here and pay my bills, that's it. I enjoy it. But the restaurant, totally different. Totally different. You go in, it's a whole different approach to cooking. The pit house is enjoyable. There's times in the pit house where you're like, okay, this is good. Everything's cruising.
See, I'm more like you are in the backyard. When I'm in the restaurant doing that, I am calm
Oh, I love it. I like the
I am
restaurant.
so calm.
I love it. Well, this 50th episode was a lot of fish stories.
Hey, sometimes you need them. You need
Well,
We
we
need
just
to
did. We
shoot
didn't
the-
come. We didn't prepare a
Sometimes
topic.
you need to shoot off the horse.
We got a list of things we're working on. We're chop our way down the.
This is a therapy session.
I already got the next episode ready to go. The next episode we'll come back in a couple days and have a good conversation about something that probably.
And for y'all's sake, I hope to get to report in with a catch or two of some sort.
We'll keep up with Jordan's catch statistics over the summer.
Yeah.
As the summer goes by, he's going to lose the ability to catch those trout. We haven't had any rain in a couple weeks. We got rain coming in here. Maybe you should go back out there on Saturday when it's raining.
Yeah. Comment your fishing stories, or like, how do you like to cook fish, and
They just
what
wanna watch-
what you're cooking, and
They
what
just
you're
wanna-
catching.
They just want to watch you catch them.
Nah, you don't want to see that. You're just see.
Trout, if you can get your hands on trout, is really good to smoke. Pecan is it's good. It's a great meal.
I'm in. Like, I'm ready to eat that. We can make a dip, like a smoked dip with a trout.
It's an underrated fish. Salmon, tuna, great. Trout's right there and holding third.
Trout's delish.
It is. Well, hope you guys have enjoyed this 50th episode. And if it's not the 50th episode, blame you or Preston.
Preston.
Blame Preston.
I don't do
Producer
anything
Preston.
but talk.
And we hope you guys will catch us on the next go around of Q Torals the podcast.